Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road, and if you are a beginner card maker, this is the tutorial for you. I'm going to show you today how to make 7 very easy cards using some cut-aparts that often come with your paper collections. So I'll give you a quick look at the cards. I know they don't look probably like easy cards, but they are, and you'll see as I go how easy these are. These are, look, some of them have a little envelope inside. And again, the envelope was just a little paper envelope that came with the collection. I'm using the Wedding Dream Paper Collection by Craft O'Clock. And look, a little pocket. Again, that just came with the junk journal set. So I didn't do anything special. It's really just assembly. So a lot of the tutorial is just showing how to use the things that maybe you've chosen in your paper collections. Maybe you just kind of overlook them or aren't quite sure how to use them. But I'll give you some tips on how to use them. Aren't they pretty? Look at the flowers. It looks like I spent a really, really long time. And as you can see, the video is sped up just a little bit. But overall, this is about a 15-minute video. And this is what you'll end up with. Now, I'm using the basic paper set for my card bases, and this is basic set 3. It's really nice because on the back of the packaging you get little frames and banners and stuff, and then you get the really nice designs, just nice designs. This is a 6x8 sized paper set, and right now there are there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, all slightly similar designs, but slightly different color variations. This one is more like white and beige. So what I'm doing is choosing 7 of them for the card bases. Now, if you have this paper collection, this paper set, the basic set, is available at the Sandpaper Road Shop. I'll put links below in the description box if you're interested. But certainly if you have a 6x8 paper set at home that you've already got from somewhere, feel free to grab that and use that too. And if not, you could just use your own 6x8 paper or cut your own. We're going to be making 4x6 size cards. So all I'm doing is using my scoreboard to just fold them in half. Just scoring it makes a nice crispy line. It makes it just a little bit easier. If you're brand new, you might not have this tool, this scoring tool. It's not necessary to make these. It just makes life a little easier. Also, if you make a lot of mini albums, or if you're interested in making mini albums, this would be great paper to use because it's a good size for pages. So that's it. We've got our card bases. As you saw, that was really simple. The card bases look absolutely beautiful just by themselves. And now what I'm doing is looking at the design that's on the paper and trying to decide which cards I want to be horizontal cards and which cards I want to be vertical cards. Now I'm going to use the 6x6 paper collection, Wedding Dream, and this is also by Craft O'Clock. And this has a coordinating decorative cards sheet. And that's what we're using as the cut-aparts. Now, maybe the paper collections you have, maybe it's a big 12x12 set or something like that, but a lot of them do come with cut-aparts, various sizes. So just work with what you have. If you're interested in this paper collection, there is a link down below. And I'll also put one in the upper right-hand corner if you're interested. Now, as you can see, I basically laid out the cut-aparts onto the card bases. Now I'm going through the 6x6 collection and finding, I think I end up finding like 3 sheets of paper just to make up the difference. Because as you can see, some of the cut-aparts are rather small. So isn't this paper collection so pretty? I just love it. It's so pretty. Now I have these dies. These are stitched rectangle dies. I have circle dies. I have some other shape dies. So those are handy because then I don't know if you ever thought to cut your cut-aparts, but you can cut them and make them into perfect sizes to fit. I used This, I cut apart into a circle shape. That one I just trimmed down to fit onto the card base. Some of the shorter cut aparts, I'm using a piece of paper from the collection as a background. And I had all that left over, so so far so good. You could use whatever adhesive you like to adhere these down. I've got some quotes. These are Special Occasions Quotes 5. Now, since Craft O'Clock is a Polish company, on one side of the quotes, they're in Polish, and the other side, they're in English. I've got a sheet of extras to cut leaves that coordinates with the collection, and a sheet of extras to cut flowers. A lot of times your paper packs will come with those extras. There's also some chipboard die cuts that coordinate with the collection. It's really nice. All those different coordinating pieces. This is the junk journal set. It all makes everything really easy. But like I said, check the paper collection you want to work with. Now I'm inking the outside edges of the cut aparts with some Distress Oxide ink, and this is Iced Spruce. You will see how much of a difference that little bit of ink around the edges makes. Look at that. It just makes it pop. I didn't do anything special. I'm not using mounting foam. I'm not using anything special. It's just how you arrange your pieces. Look at the difference between this one that I'm touching with these two pieces before they have the ink around the edges, and then look at the difference after. I know inking around the edges is not so new, but sometimes I think if you're new to card making, you just appreciate some of these little tips and tricks along the way. Now you'll notice I didn't ink blend the one side. See how the one I'm working on, I didn't ink the inside. It's because I want to give the illusion that that is one piece, one panel. Even though I had to get a little bit of extra from the paper collection itself, the 6x6 collection, because this was sort of a short cut apart. It was just small, and I wanted it to be bigger, so I just added some extra paper to it. Now, some people don't make 4x6 size cards. It is sort of a, maybe not a typical size for a card. Usually, you know, we see the A2 size cards. But whatever size you want to work with, just work with it with your cut aparts. This is just some scrap paper I had from when I trimmed down one of the other cut aparts. And I thought it would look pretty as like to cover the seam of those two things. It makes it look like they actually are one piece. And then what I'll do is ink around that, and it gives the illusion that it's one piece. You can also do that same thing with some ribbon. I'm just adding some liquid glue. I really like the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I don't know why. Art glitter glue is nice too, but I really like this Nuvo a lot. And just adding a piece of ribbon. Nothing special. I'm just wrapping it around and gluing it. And now with my fingers, what I'll do is with that same kind of ribbon, I'm going to just quick make like just a double bow. And then what I can do is glue the bow to the front. And it makes it look like I wrapped the ribbon all the way around and tied a bow, which I'm not going to do. There's no way. I would never be able to do that and keep it from like twisting and being all crazy. So I usually just wrap a piece around, glue it down, and then glue a bow to the front, and it gives the illusion I did all this extra special stuff. So lots of little tips and tricks. You can see there I have just a bunch of ribbon and buttons and metal pieces and things off to the side. They're just from my craft stash. Just using some basic score tape. This is double-sided tape. It holds really well. Whatever kind of card making adhesive you like is fine. And just adding this little extra rectangle piece. It's just the cut apart an extra piece, so all mounted onto a piece from the paper collection. And then, now this time I did tie the ribbon around, but it's because I knew I wasn't doing anything special with the tie. I was just going to kind of fray it out a little bit, and that was good enough for me. Now, when you do something like that, though, you're probably going to have to use some cardboard or something or foam, if you have foam, to mount up the back, because it'll lay funny since you've got ribbon wrapped around it. So I'm sort of in the ribbon wrapping phase, ribbon using phase of the project, and just while I have all the ribbon out and all the cards sort of half made, and before I glue anything down for good, I'm trying to see where do I want to wrap ribbon around anything, because that is, I think, something that card makers often forget is the order of events. Like, once you're in such a hurry to glue something down, then you realize, ooh, I probably would like to add a ribbon, but it's too late now. So just wait to glue everything down till the very end. That's my sort of tip of the day. So that looks pretty good. Now I've basically got the cut aparts laid out there. I've got some ribbon where I want it. And now I'm starting to just glue things down as, you know, almost all the way, and give a good look to my projects. A lot of times I walk away from the projects for a few hours and come back and then look at them with fresh eyes, and that's always a good indicator of what I need. Here I'm using some, I mentioned earlier about using some scrap cardboard or something, or some foam. I have some foam, but I just didn't feel like reaching for it, and this cardboard was like right here. So I just cut just a random piece of cardboard and glued it to the back. And now you do want to make sure to kind of burnish that down with a credit card or your scoring tool or whatever, or your bone folder. And then I'm mounting that on top of the card panel, turning it over and burnishing it down. And then I'll put the acrylic block or a heavy object on the top. So this is basically it. They're basically almost all the way done. Let me show you what will happen here and how easy it is. This is the card panel, or the cut apart. I'm going to add the quote right there. And I'm going to add some flowers here that I cut and some flowers here that I cut. You might have stickers that do the same thing. And that's it. That is literally it. It looks like you spent hours and hours and hours. There's the bow. There's the ribbon, there's the card panel, then there's some more flowers that I cut, and then there's the quote that I'll add. Like I said, maybe you have some stickers. Don't worry about if something is hanging off the edge. It might look good if you just cut that off, you know. I'm going to add, here's the one with the ribbon. I'm going to add a quote. I'm going to add a few just individually cut flowers. Maybe with some glue dots or pop dots or something like that. This is a little metal charm I found in my stuff. I'll hang that from the ribbon. These are some of those pocket things I was telling you about. They come with the junk journal set, and all you have to do is cut them out, score them, and fold them, and that makes a perfect gift card holder for any of your cards. And I'm showing you wedding cards today, but think about your collections that are Christmas cards, you know, kids cards, birthday cards, whatever. Just don't be afraid to use those cut aparts and all the extra embellishments that come with them to make beautiful cards. It's really just as easy as that. I mean, I literally just glued it in there and like added a little metal charm to keep it closed. So yeah, they don't take long at all. If you're just a beginner, this is a great way to start out and get familiar with your products. Again, links will be below if you're interested in any of these special papers. They're really fun to use, good high quality papers. Here's a close-up of all the cards that I made today. So thanks so much for watching. Definitely click that subscribe button for lots more tutorials. It is free to subscribe, and then you'll be notified when I make new videos. Check the description box for lots of links, and find Sandpaper Road on social media. And thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.